spin through, put a pin, keep your own case, and make sure you've got the case actually locked in. This is a pin switching drill. If you can hold him here forever, great, but usually you can't. He's flopping around, okay? So I know I need to switch, okay? Come through, grab the head, shift back to the post, hips back, knees in, okay? Now I know I'm gonna go for the arm lock. Step over when my knee's up, his shoulders up, grab the arm as I collect his head, okay? Now I'm kind of sitting on his head. The other shin comes up, I'm sitting on the shoulder, okay? Collect and finish. Knees together, heels in.
Real active drill. It's a lot of transitions. That's the point of the drill, to transition a link one move to the other. It's going to be like we're going to simulate throwing a guy, and we're just going to do the spin and stretch, basically the spin and pin. And I'll let Derek go from here because we're going to do it on this particular case, get good side control, and then once we kind of have our way with them, once we spin and get side control, we'll probably finish up with an arm lock this time. Okay, so Mike, can you be the demo guy? So go ahead, Derek, just start it.
Okay, so usually for this one, we'll get a good back grip. Try to stay away from having your thumb in there, especially if you're going to be going into groundwork, because that tends to break your thumb. So just get a nice grip on the pocket back there, and then you know your normal sleeve grip. Foot in front, okay, spin them down, that's the spin part, okay?
And that simulates a throw, guys, that's all that's for, just simulating a throw.
Right. So once we have the spin down, we sit through the case in, okay? Get good control, okay? Then switch through and do a nice side pin, Juji Gatame, okay? Now from here, I like to control the head, because there's a lot of fun stuff we can do from there. So I'll come back and I'll lace up that arm, step over the head, step up, and then we're back and do an arm lock.
There's some key things here, like we always say, stole the phrase from John Wooden, a great basketball coach, small things make big things happen. So watch, he's going to do the spin and stretch, basically, that's what we call spin and pin. He spins them, he goes right in. Now watch some of the key things. Come on over here, guys. Julie, if you can move it over here. Watch what Derek is doing. He's got head control. Remember, you got to have good head control. See that here? Also, look at this. A lot of the traditional people, a lot of the judo people, they do case gatame, that's great. But for what we want, the purpose here, we want to trap. You can still have me, still got really good control, hold them a long time in this. But this frees this hand up because he's going to hook under, he's going to switch hands. See, now he's starting hand control with the other hand as he starts to shift back out. See how he posts and shifts back out? Now look, he's got solid head control there. He's really keeps Mike's head from on the mat from bridging, okay? So he's doing that on purpose. That's a little thing that makes big things happen. It keeps Mike from bridging and getting away. We'll do that one more time, show that. So as he's got him from a case of gatame, basic, you can see this? Now watch, when he starts to shift, he hooks. Now he's got that nice trap there going. Now watch, he brings this back. That's when he posts his hand on the mat for stability. Now see, he's still in the position with his legs. Now this is when he shoots his hips back and he keeps them low, you know, heavy hips, and then he brings them back up so he can trap them even better. So he's got a nice tight Juji Gatame or chest hold from that position. Now, watch what he does here. He still controls the head because he's going for a nice case of gatame, and he's going to move up into a nice head sit position, or head squat position. So go ahead from there, Derek. You got a nice setup there.
Okay. So I'm just going to lift that knee up, and that lifts his shoulder with it. And as soon as we're right about here, pop it up and grab the arm. Knee comes down and controls the head. Okay. Other knee comes up, and you just try and put your shin in the back of his ribs. You can keep your hand down here on the post to stabilize. No problem with that. Other foot comes up.
See how he's squatting?
I'm literally sitting on his shoulder at this point. So I've got 4 points of contact. One hand post, 2 feet, and then I'm sitting on his shoulder. So I'm nice and stable. It's not actually that hard.
And also, everybody, see how he's maintained by trapping this arm. That arm ain't going anywhere because Derek's did a good job trapping, right? So it's very methodical, very methodical.
And then from here, it's just the finish. You slowly roll back, knees together, keep your heels in, collect the arm,
And the key point here, new guys, is he didn't need to flop this leg back over. Okay, some people think they have to. You don't. The real basic, which basics work, by the way, this is a very basic move. He's got that shin right there and that near rib, really on the armpit, and he's trapping it so well. He doesn't need to kick the leg. In fact, he'd be losing control if he did. So this is one variation of Juji Gatame where it's one leg over the head, one leg jammed in the side. You don't need it. As long as he's trapping and he's got a good lever. Okay. One back and he catches the lever. Okay, one more time, then we'll let the guys drill. So, get out of your way.
Spin through, put a pin, kick your own case, and make sure you've got the case actually locked in. This is a pin switching drill. If you can hold him here forever, great, but usually you can't. He's flopping around, okay? So I know I need to switch, okay? Come through, grab the head, shift back to the post, hips back, knees in, okay? Now I know I'm gonna go for the arm lock. Step over when my knee's up, his shoulders up, grab the arm as I collect his head, okay? Now I'm kind of sitting on his head. The other shin comes up, I'm sitting on the shoulder, okay? Collect and finish. Knees together, heels in, and that's it. The idea being, if you're controlling as well as you should, your knees are together, your heels are back, you don't need to bridge that much. Okay?
One thing, start spin him again and get over. He may get out at some point, so watch. It's still the same move, guys. You got your, okay, when he comes in for this, now watch this. If he's coming in here and go ahead and shift back, get your side control. Not that, not that. Now when he's starting to come up for his arm lock, this could be a point where Mike could get out. And so as he's coming right, so what Derek can do, he can just keep moving all the way over and just trap on his head, just kind of sit on his head. Kamishi Hogan's done. He's still got him. He's still got him nice and tight there. So he's still parked him there, and he'll just keep him there until the guy settles down or puts his weight on him, or he can do a bent arm lock from there, or a triangle, whatever it may be. But he's still got him. So remember, you're the guy on top, you're winning. Don't try to get in a hurry to make things happen, okay? Just methodical. Let's work on the whole series. What we're doing is a transition from a throw to a finish. To a throw to osaikomi, or holding immobilization. Let's drill on that. Let's watch this. Derek's got a good addition to this in the spin and side control situation about keeping control. So, Derek, it's on you, bud. Go ahead and talk about it.
So the two things I want to stress here on the controls is as soon as I get him down in the case, I'm lifting his head and then kicking my foot as deep as I can so I can grab the back of that thigh. I can remember when Steve first showed me that move, it was like the heavens opened and the angels sung, and I was like, I can finally do this pin. The other thing too is, Steve covered this, you really want to clamp down on that arm because it makes everything else super easy, okay?
Now the name of this, by this Juji Gatame, scarf hold, okay? Now the reason it's called scarf hold, Derek's left arm around Mike's neck is much like they wore what was called a kesa in Japan. So it's like a scarf around his neck. That's why they call it the scarf hold. So.
Okay. So the next thing is when we come through for the transition, notice that the height of his head doesn't change when I transition over here. Okay? I still want his head up so that I can keep that shoulder up off the mat and it's harder for him to squeeze out of the lock when it comes later. Now, when I transition in, I can even grip my hands together in an S grip. Okay? So lock them together like that. Lock them together in a gable grip, butterfly, grab a wrist, however you want. The idea is if you get your hands together, you can squeeze them in tighter like you're hugging his shoulder, and classic immobilization.
Now look at that right shoulder on the side of left side of Mike's head. It's just squeezing there. And so it's adding, make him hurt. If he's thinking about how much this thing sucks to be down there, he's not thinking about how to get away.
Right.
That's what we want.
And it's not like I'm sitting through while I'm doing this and like lifting up. So it's pretty much legal, okay? Pretty much. So, but the idea is it's uncomfortable and it's keeping him from being able to bridge pretty well. and it's keeping his shoulders from getting flat, which is one of the easier ways to get out of the Juji that's coming up. Now when I want to get the Juji, as I step up, you know, I can sit here like this for as long as I want.
He's still being pinned, guys. He's being held down.
So, and you know, your foot doesn't have to be there. Your foot can be out here if you want. You know, that's fine. It's setting up for stepping over the head, okay? And as soon as it's up, I just fall back to that arm. He's still nice and high up. Once my knee's up, that elbow's locked in my hip. Go ahead and try and pull it up. Okay? See? Still in there, okay? Right there, right? So if I'm out here and I let go, there he goes, okay? All right? So knee up, okay? I know my knee's up, I can get it over his head, fall back to the arm. There we go. Step over. There, now he's locked. Knee up, okay? Pop up. There we go. And now it's just the finish. Okay. So the idea is to make it as tight as you can. Just keep tightening that loop, that noose, as you go through the move. Mike was actually bringing this up earlier off camera. The easiest parts to get out of are at the very beginning. It's actually the pins and the transitions between them where you have the most opportunity to get out of it. By the time I get to the arm lock, there's not that many counters to it, and if there are, they usually rely on you being either pretty agile or pretty bendy. So
when you're holding him, what he's trying to say, what he is saying quite well here, is that when you're on top, holding him and immobilizing him, don't give space to the guy. The space lets him find an escape route.
Right.
And so keep everything really compact and ride him out.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, you want to try this? So it's basically, it's a Juji Gatame to more of a Muni Gatame position, side control position, and then work right into a very, very slick Juji. And you notice he never gave up control. You don't have to give up control to get the submission.
Right.
Just keep, it's just like a, what is it, a python or cobra? What is it, squeezes him to death?
Boa constrictor.
Boa constrictor, yeah. Same thing. Just keep adding more pressure till he gives up and he's done. That's what it is. All right, let's do it, guys. Have fun.